The Week 8 Boo Bombs Halloween Show edition of the Bottom Line Bombs on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is just at Pick'em Scorchers, where you can win 100 times. That's right, turn $5 into 500 in one game. Plus, every Sunday, they're giving away 100K. Use promo code SGPN Underdog Fantasy for 100% deposit up to $500. Brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app. Visit HOFBets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off that. Your first month. Start making smarter bets today. Plus, the NBA is back. So is the NBA Gaming Podcast. To celebrate, we're giving away an NBA Gaming Podcast hoodie. Head over to sportsgamingpodcast.com/NBA Dog for all the details. And with that, let's do it by doing this. Yes. Welcome to the Bottom Line Bombs. I am your host, CJ Sullivan. I am just doing some, your man in the box, of course. Sorry, I'm balancing things out here for a special. I'm excited for today's show, the Halloween show. It's going to be very... Yeah, real creepy, like. And static. What's even creepier than static? Anyway, today it is what is it? October 26th, Thursday, the Halloween weekend. My favorite. This is my favorite show that I do. This is Thanksgiving. I do a themed bomb. I'm gonna give out 5 bombs for the contest, of course, for Week 8 NFL and a Survivor and a Man in a Box segment at the end. But it's going to have a Halloween theme to it. Isn't that exciting? Everybody, welcome people who joined us from the C Block. I just did this show with Dundee, of course. Hold on, let me fix this. My mouse is all messed up. I'm always messed up. You know what I got to do? I share it. That's what I hate about sharing the screen. Man, I like telling you guys unnecessary things behind the scenes. Captain Insano here, or maybe just one. Welcome to the show. And welcome to the comments. I am wearing real quick before I get into the show. I'll give a Thursday night bomb too. Obviously, that's how I do it. Why do I say obviously? Obviously. Well, I put Thursday Night Football in the my great thumbnail that I put in there because that's live tonight. I'll do that quickly. I'll do that before I get to the first break because so you guys can rush and open up a new window and bet it. If you want, it's a treat I do for the live listeners because people listen to the podcast. By the time you listen to the podcast, Thursday Night Football is already over with. And on Monday, the Monday Night Football game is already over with. So I do this just for the live listeners, basically. It's a treat for you guys coming in. I give a quick little, not my deep one, but because as you know, the Bottom Line Bombs is live every Monday and Thursday at 1:45 Pacific. It's after the college show, which starts at noon. The C Block starts at noon, so it's 1 and 7 today. So the time moves around, but it's usually at that time. Anyway, well, I'm really flying through. I'm flying through for my Thursday Starbucks coffee day. Half off for Thursday. It's not a thing, Starbucks. But anyway, like I said, if you are watching on YouTube, you see I'm wearing a nice, crisp, clean Phillies red Phillies hat. And yes, I know they lost. They choked. They lost to Arizona. But I bought this hat for the World Series. I'm not one of those new fans that buy something new with the price tag on it. I mean, I am, but no, I'm not. I'm a long time Philly fan of all sports. I will say I don't really. I mean, as you get older, baseball gets away from you. Hats get away from it. I have a lot of old cool Philly hats, but hats in general, you sweat through them, then you wash them, and once you wash a hat, it's never the same. It's never the same. Like watching your wife give birth, never the same. You can't do this. Just joking. That's what I heard. I'm not a father. But The point is, once you wash the hat, you got to dry it out like on a clothespin on a wire outside in the yard, like you're from some fucking on some French farm in the 20s wearing a sundress. What? Where'd that go? Well, my Dwight Howard all of a sudden? Come on! What are we doing here?
But then he pulls out, and it's just hard.
Not talking to Dwight Howard today. God bless Dwight Howard. I like Dwight Howard. I won't get it. See, there's too much show. I can't let the mind go astray today. I got to keep it focused on the Halloween show. Todd Moore says Kirk Cousins with the big W Monday. Mall of America, rejoice. Fantastic. We'll get into Kirk Cousins and all of that. But I did give out baseball bomb. I got bombed on the baseball bombs. We did win with Verlander, fading Verlander, but we did not with Javier. We rode Javier and he got lit up in Texas in the World Series. Congratulations to Texas. No congratulations to Arizona. Here's the thing with the Phillies losing and choking. I do like how the Phillies took down the sport of baseball with it, because everyone agrees nobody gives a shit about this World Series now. Arizona and Texas. It's horrible. Fuck off, Arizona. You're the worst. No one likes you. You don't even like, your fans don't even like you. You're a gross pool. They're terrible. They're a terrible team. They won 84 games. They're the worst run differential than the Mets. They don't even do anything well. They run great. Good for you. You took advantage of the new rules. You're jerks. Anyway, I'm just joking. Good for you, Arizona. But now it's just gross. I feel gross. So I'm wearing this hat. I'll just wear this hat today. That's it. I mean, I paid $40 for this hat. It's like a wedding dress. I'm getting more of the one 2 times I've mentioned wearing a dress. I'm getting more than one use out of it. But I did feel like when Phillies lost, you felt gross. I said this with hockey, but baseball is becoming the new hockey, where like you can just dump it immediately as soon as you lose. As soon as your team loses, no emotional attachment whatsoever, and it's like having an affair. You're like, oh God, what was I thinking? I got a family I get home to. Baseball, it's been real, but I mean, good Lord, I got to get out of here. I gotta go back to football. You're not gonna tell football about this, are you? Baseball, you're gonna be cool, right? No need. Football doesn't need to hear, but doesn't need to find out about this whole little tist we had this last month. I mean, what was I doing? It was so embarrassing. I'm singing Robin songs with the Phillies. I keep dancing on my own. What was another corny ass fucking song? It's gonna be ayo, okay, ayo. What am I doing? This is humiliating. Now I've become those Dodger fans I was making fun of last week. Dodger fans last week, when I was golfing with them, they're like, who's even left playing baseball? I'm like, the Phillies and Diamondbacks. It was just a week later. What are you talking about? Now I'm exactly like them. I'm like, what? Someone's like, when's the World Series? I'm like, who cares? Who gives a shit? Are they actually doing that? They're going to play the World Series without the Phillies? Why would they even do that? That's no fun. But no, they will. I'll give out bombs on that later. That does start Friday. I do like Texas to fucking smash them. But I wanted Arizona to lose every series, and they haven't done it yet. So maybe I'll just keep losing money on Arizona. People denied him. How about Chris Russo? That was the big story. Chris Russo said there he would retire if the Phillies lost both games at home to Arizona, which they did. And then people were getting mad. They wanted him to actually retire. What are you, an idiot? What are you, a child? You think he's actually going to retire his $1 million job because he said something to get attention and he got it? No, you said it. You got to retire. He's going to do some whatever thing. I mean, you know what's funny? Who's that fucking guy on the fan in the New York State? He was like, you got to, why? I'm not going to bow down. He's ridiculous. That does teach you a good lesson, though. And I will say this. I like Chris Russo, but I hate people who do that. Maybe this will stop people from running their mouths and making dumb. It's not a bet. if you just proclaim something and with no one taking your bet and you don't win anything, it's not a bet. Don't make a bet where you win nothing. And then you're just an asshole. Even if the Phillies won and Russo didn't have to retire, he's not retiring anyway. But there's no stakes. That's the thing too. You're just you looking foolish. I'll give you $1 million if he makes this shot. Why? Is he going to give you $1 million back if he misses? No. Well, then don't say that. You said you're going to retire. So what? Who's holding you to it? Anyway, that's neither here nor there because we got a Halloween bomb show to get to. This is my scary bomb show. I'll get that going later, maybe for any jokes. For now, though, let's get moving. I don't know if that's any of this stuff is legal. Let's get moving. And when we come back, I'll do out the contest for NFL Week 8 Circa Contest. We'll give out the Halloween spooky bombs and a man in the box and a survivor. We got a lot of show to get to today. But first, of course, let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy, a way to play alongside your... Oh, I didn't give out the Thursday night game. I'll do it right after this. Play alongside your favorite football team all season long. Underdog has just introduced Scorchers. Go 5 for 5 and pick them Scorchers. Enjoy a spicy 100 times payout. For a limited time, Underdog is extending the first deposit bonus on the $500. $100,000 Sunday continues on Underdog Fantasy. 10 lucky players will win $10K each. An Underdog spicy play that I like tonight is Josh Allen. Anytime touchdown, he's plus 160. And on Underdog, it's a spicy jalapeno. You throw Josh Allen anytime touchdown to run it in because he's going to do it today, I believe, tonight. And he tosses in a couple other things, and you win. So sign up with the promo code SGPN. Underdog will double your first deposit to $500. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. And don't forget the NBA is back. Celebrate what we're giving away an NBA Gambling Podcast hoodie. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA dog to submit a screenshot of you playing NBA Underdogs using our promo code SGPN, and one random winner will get an NBA Gambling Podcast hoodie. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA dog. And with that, we are back. Yeah, get yourself an NBA hoodie, and then you can put that on, and then you can load manage. You can stay home like James Harden, as we said in the last show. Or Devin Booker. The Phoenix, yeah, I'm not getting to an NBA rant, but good Lord, the season is an hour and a half old, and people are already taking games off and getting hurt. What is going on in the NBA? And I don't even blame these players. The ownership shuts them down. The coach shut them down because, whatever. I don't get into it. It's because we say the only thing that matters is the playoffs. So you can't say that is what you do in the playoffs and the championships is the only thing that matters, and then expect them to play all these games in the regular season. Why would they? Who cares? You have entire shows and networks revolved around humiliating people that don't do well in the playoffs. So of course they're just going to focus on that. Even if it is way too early. JC from KC, welcome. What's up, C Generates? Good to see you here. I'll even give you one of these. Because I know you love the parade video. Thank you, JC from KC. If you check out the YouTube here on the Bottom Line Bombs, the parade video. I mentioned it last Bottom Line Bombs with the Yellow Wolf song, and then I shot a video recreating it because I love that video so much. Check it out. We don't have to get into it right now. But that is a Thursday night game. I forgot to give it out. I like Buffalo tonight. It's -9.5. Everyone likes Tampa Bay and the under. I don't know. I'm not taking Tampa Bay. They look terrible versus anyone who's kind of good. And I think the Bills, it's a bounce back, get right game for them. So take the Buffalo Bills -9.5 and Josh Allen anytime touchdown plus 160. Those are my bombs for Thursday night football. But now let's get into the contest picks. In the Halloween edition, it's a Halloween weekend. This is the weekend where all the fans will be dressed up in the costume. They'll get on TV that way. Play this a little slow. The Circa Million Contest. We are 17, 17, and 1. Literally 500. As even as 500 can be. So we like to get on a nice streak going, get ready for the quarters, see what's going on. I think these are going to be some scary plays. See generates. That's what happens on Halloween. You gotta look at some monsters, some teams that look terrible, that are scary, they're horrifying. Like candy corn. And get into it. So here we go. Let's get into it. That's just really bothering me. I want to stop that. All right, so let's get into it. Let's take a look. Let's take a walk down the block and go trick or treating and see if we can find some Halloween boo bombs. Okay. First game. This is a scary game. Houston at Carolina. Two bad teams. One's better than the other. And that team's Houston. But because it's Halloween boo bombs, we're going to go the other way. We're going to go real scary and take the Carolina Panthers +3 at home. Now, why are we doing that? I have no idea. My handicap is not too many X's and O's. This is more Kit Kats and Twixes. Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, they're the house, you know, they go over the top with the decorations, but they're like, you know, they get all the Home Depot decorations. They get the giant skeleton, and they get the, you know, the Frankenstein, and they get everything that, like, you know, it's store-bought. It's Halloween. They're in the spirit. I'm not saying North Carolina people aren't in the spirit. They are. They like doing, you know, they get out the Halloween decorations, and so it's fun. They're into it. It's nothing too crazy. They're not gory. They're still God-fearing, you know, but they'll play along with the holiday. What they like about Halloween, what their house is, they like gossiping with the kids and the parents. So they, you know what they are? They're North Carolina, Charlotte, the Carolina Panthers. They're the house that gives out full-size candy bars, you know, which is a great house. Love that house as a kid. And word gets out. You know, they're the cool parents, the cool mom, as like in Mean Girls. You get like a full-size Snickers, which is kind of crazy that they're bribing these kids with full-size candy bars. They're a little rich. They got money. They don't know what to spend it on. So they bought, you know, $200 worth of full candy bars, I guess. Especially putting that in a kid's bag in a pillowcase. The kid's already getting, you know, 100 candy bars or 50 candy little ones. Now you give them a full-size one? But it you know, they give you that because they know it negates the dentist down the street who gives out toothbrushes. Those are worse. The fucking dentist who gives out a toothbrush. Go fuck yourself, dentist. Anyway, they give you the full-size candy bar so then they can gossip about the other houses and oh yeah, did you go to Peterson's? Yeah, I heard I heard they were giving out pennies. They're not good at all. So there's just gossiping. They're basically telling you who's sleeping with who. The dentist is sleeping with the assistant. You're like 6 years old. Like, what? What are you talking about? And that's how it is in Charlotte. You know, they're like those NASCAR wives, whatever. They're there at the salon and they are Gabby. But this is their time. You want to go there because you'll listen to them talk about the neighbors and who's doing wrong and whose lawn is coming over there, you know, and like who's supposed to say properties, who's cheating on who, because you're getting a full-size Mounds bar, full-size Almond Joy. With some cool decorations. So we'll start right off with Carolina +3 and a full-size Mounds. If you're in the comments, go ahead and tell me your favorite candy bar. Candy for Halloween candy. That's how you do engagement. That's what they tell you. You gotta engage with your crowd. You gotta give them a question to answer. What's your favorite and least favorite Halloween candy? And I'll talk about it here. People love candy talk. That's for one thing. You talk candy. You could fill out. If you guys ever want to do a show, you do a show and ask people what their favorite Halloween candy is. You could do 12 hours. People love talking about candy. But seriously, you can go ahead and answer it. The full-size bar. Anyway, let's move on. That's Carolina. +3. Scary game. Scary game. We're going to go down the block. Now that we got our full-size candy bar weighing down our pillowcase, almost poking a hole through it. It's so heavy. Let's move on down to the Lambeau House, where Green Bay is playing Minnesota. Scary cold here. Now, this is not as scary, but we needed to move on. I'm going to stop that. Arbo says his favorite is Snickers, least favorite Good and Plenty. I'm with you. Good and Plenty, Snickers is the real deal, obviously. Snickers is a 1 seed, obviously, when it comes to candy. But Good and Plenty gets caught in your teeth, gets caught up in the gums. It's brutal. It's I don't like Good and Plenty either. What is it? I mean, is it mints? Is it gum? It's just weird. You rattle around. Is it chiclets? I don't get it. JC from KC says Reese's Cups. Reese's Cups, of course, banger, legit brand name. Here's the thing with Reese's, though. I will say this before I get into this Green Bay Minnesota game. Reese's is, I'd say it's a 2 seed. The reason why I won't give it a 1 seed is I don't respect candy. I respect Reese's. It's one of the best, but that tastes better frozen than it is regular. And although Snickers is good frozen, Snickers is also very good solid. And Reese's is fine without frozen, but Reese's is a lot better when it's frozen. And that you need to be able to rest on what your product is. And when Reese's and unfrozen Reese's, you start tasting the texture of it, of the processed peanut butter. You're like, all right. But other than that, Reese's Cups is pretty fucking amazing. And also with Reese's Cups, another candy that's better when it's shrunken. Like the mini cups are better than the regular cup. So Reese's has a lot of weird things going against its natural thing. That being said, every variation of Reese's Cups are great. So I'll give you that. Captain Santa makes a good point. He doesn't want the holiday one. He doesn't need a green Reese's. I know. Well, people get the candies. They get bored. They get bored with their product. Anyway, Green Bay, Minnesota. Now, Green Bay house, Lambeau House. And this is a nice Midwestern game. Like you said, Kirk Cousins had his big W on Monday. Shout out to the Mall of America. Rejoice, Todd Morris said. Now they got a letdown spot. Now they're going to Green Bay, and Green Bay has looked awful. They've looked, speaking of terrifying, the Packers look horrible. Jordan Love looks horrendous, looks like a monster, a scary skeleton out there. Matt LaFleur, probably can't coach, maybe. Who knows? I know the players don't like him. So the Packers are a mess. They just lost to Denver, for God's sakes. At Denver. That's not a good sign. That's horrifying. That being said, we're going to take them here. Because it's Halloween and it's spooky time. Static is spooky. Now, the Packer household on your block when you go trick-or-treating, this is my theme, by the way. This is your different houses you see when you go trick-or-treating. The Packers are the Midwest ones. They're the ones who like they're the adults who dress up too. Like they're in costume. Isn't it always weird when you go to the house and they're dressed up and they're like, we're a witch and he's a man witch or whatever. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? You just step out the door and you hand it to kids and you guess what the kids are. You don't need to play along. You're not going anywhere. You're not fun. You're an adult. But they think they're fun. Wisconsiners think they're fun. This is what they do. This is why they're not fun. All right, they dress up. Okay, you're kind of corny. As long as you put up with it because they got candy and they got good candy, and they'll give you plenty. They'll let you grab a couple handfuls, you know. They're Wisconsin. They know what it's about. Get in there. They're not doing 1-1 and are back in line. They're like, fucking shovel this shit in you. Because they're fat. They're also the people who never know who anyone is. They don't know what any kid is dressed as, no matter what it is. It could be Darth Vader. They don't know. Who are you supposed to be? Fuck you. That's who I'm supposed to be. I'm Darth Vader. Have you never seen Star Wars? Oh, we don't have that. Is that on Peacock? No, it's not on Peacock. It's on Disney. Have you ever heard of Disney? Never heard of Star Wars, really. And it's deflating to a kid when they don't know what you are. What is that? Oh, SpongeBob. Yeah. Our kid likes SpongeBob. I used to like that, I think. So then you're insulting the kid. The kid's like, I worked on this. The parents worked on it. Someone worked on it. Don't you know anything? Why are you dressed as a clown? Sitting back there. I said Darth Vader because that comes from a personal place. Fun fact about your man in the box. When I used to get out of the box as a little boy, I loved Darth Vader as a kid. When I watched Star Wars, I hated Luke Skywalker. I dressed up as Darth Vader 2 years in a row. Had the mask, had a big old plastic lightsaber. And I wanted it to be a third year in a row, and my mom would not let me. It's like, that's enough. Also, I don't like that my child likes the evil part of Star Wars. It's a pretty basic morale test that I failed. I couldn't comprehend why anyone would like Luke Skywalker. He was a little bitch. What's up, Lane Elliott? In the comments says, what's up, fam? Captain Sano, JC from KC says they hand out cheese curds in Wisconsin. They sure do. Squeaky. The squeakier, the better. So I could not be Darth Vader anymore. I think that says a lot about your man in the box that I connected with Darth Vader instead of Luke Skywalker. Anyway, that's fine. Anyway, point is, your Packer fans, as you see the little Packer helmet there, they are the parents who dress up and hand out candy and they don't know who you are, but they let you to scoop it. So we're going to take the Packers. What is the line? That's a pick 'em versus Minnesota. Hold, oh boy. Put on the mask when you take this one. Packers. That's a pick 'em. All right. Now let's move on down the block. Now that we've hit two houses. We've hit the Carolina house. We got the full-size candy bar. We hit the Packer house. We got the cheese curd, but we got the people dressed up who didn't know who we were. Now we're heading down to a real scary house. The Washington, D.C. Commander House. Formerly of the Redskin Racist House. As they play the Philadelphia Eagles. Washington Commanders, Philadelphia Eagles. Line is 6.5. Now, Washington, they're definitely a scary house. Washington is that house on the block that you don't know. Halloween kind of just came to them. You're like, is this house decorated for Halloween or is this how they normally live? Terrifying. Like their yard is high. You can see it. They have a fence, but you can still see the yard over their 6-foot-high wooden fence. It hasn't been mowed in years, but there's a lawnmower trapped in there. They have a little fenced off area. You ever see those weird ones that have like a little metal fenced off area that they keep fucking like just weird like equipment in there and shit? Like, whoa, what is that? You hear guys screaming just in weird hours. It's just a creepy guy. The lights are off because they don't want you to come up there, but you still see movement in the silhouette. What's going on in there? Or occasionally they'll have the this is the house that they'll act like they're away and they'll have the candy out front and it says take one. You know, the note, someone's watching you. What? The fuck is going? Is there surveillance going on in these children? This is the Stanford prison experiment or other psychology experiments. What's the one where you were in control of shocking someone and they're like, you got to do it, keep shocking them, and we'll just keep doing it. Whatever that one is. Lane Elliott says the Washington house is scary all year long. Yeah, that's my point. And next thing you know, Halloween just stumbled upon them. Like, oh, this is okay for me not to mow my yard and have weird rakes and shit and fucking just like weapons hanging out in the yard. I mean, it's just starting to scare me. Washington's starting to scare me. That was always scary. The sign that said "Take one, you're being watched." What? I'm 6. The hell's going on here? One kid would always scoop up a bunch. Like, all right, you expect like a fucking cage to come down and trap them. Todd Moore says a crematorium in the basement, like on the Tom Hanks movie in The Burbs. Exactly. That's the time they can. Then they're like, "This is the time we can really kidnap someone, and torture them." It's for Halloween. I always like that person that will turn the lights off. Well, they're not home, so the lights are off. Wait a minute. There's movement. There's sounds. What the hell's going on? Anyway, that's what Washington is. They do. They didn't have peepholes in their fucking locker. They're always looking at you. There's a guy looking at you through the window across the block. That being said, I think Jalen Hurts is actually hurt, and they're lying about it. Washington always plays them tough. We're going to take Washington plus 6.5. Bomb it. Even though they look awful, but that's how scary it has been. And with that, Hall of Fame bets. Win bigger and better, smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Stop betting in the dark. Join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame bets. Craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame bets. And we're back on the Bottom Line Bombs. I am your host, Spooky CJ Sullivan, the man in the coffin box. In the coffin. We're going through some Halloween boo bombs. We're just going down the block. All the houses where we're trick-or-treating and what they are for NFL teams. And we're taking terrifying NFL teams this Halloween weekend. So far, we have Carolina +3, Green Bay to pick them, and Washington +6.5. Those are 3 horrible, horrible football teams. But that's why we like them this weekend. All right, let's get back at it. Now, we're really going to get scary. We are going out to Denver, Kansas City, and Denver. The Super Bowl champ Chiefs and Russell Wilson of the horrendous Denver Broncos, who just won versus the Packers. It looks like a complete mismatch. And this isn't even a fun Halloween. This isn't even a fun Halloween house. This is one that's on the block you just have to go to. You can't think about it. Then when you go there, then you realize the reason why it's scary is you go up there, you think it's gonna be candy, and next thing you know, it's Russell Wilson and Ciara, his wife, and they are they're giving out like bags of carrots and shit. There's always that one house that's like sugar free. They give you notes and like propaganda. How about the ones that like they're fucking like they read letters about government and shit? Like, what the fuck is going on here? Don't you have candy? No, kids. No. But I have gluten-free figs. What? I don't want figs. What are figs? You don't know if it's a cult. That's why it's really terrifying. And they're like, you're going to get plenty of candy. I'm going to stand out and give you carrots. Something. What am I going to do with these carrots? I'm going to feed them to the dogs or the squirrels down behind. So Russell Wilson is giving you carrots. His wife's giving you propaganda. And Sean Payton's behind him just rolling his eyes like, oh, God, this is what I got to do. I mean, I'm sorry. This is the household. This is what she wanted to do. This is what Russ wanted to do. He wanted to tell you about the greatness of riding in the sugar-free gluten. And if you work out in the morning, he wants everyone on a regimen. He thinks he wants to change the way American kids eat. Yeah, okay. Kids got to eat better, but not today. It's Halloween, asshole. At least he's not giving out pennies. Some people do give out pennies. Those are just weirdos. Ones that give out vegetables. They're the opposite of the full-size candy bar Carolina. When I was a kid, actually, Daryl Dawkins, my favorite basketball player ever. Chocolate Thunder, R.I.P. We used to go to his neighborhood where his suburb was, and he used to give out full-size chocolate basketballs that were like huge. It was amazing. He'd run out and they'd melt before you got home. But they were just huge basketballs, and he'd pick you up, and he'd pick kids up, and he'd throw them over his shoulder. Parents would, back in the 70s and 80s, parents would let strange adults just pick your kid up and throw him around. God, toss him in a tree. He'll get down, whatever. Daryl Dawkins would pick us all up and throw us, and like fucking, it was hilarious. It was great. It was fun. Good old fashioned, dangerous fun. That's not what Russell Wilson is, and it's not what Denver is. But they do play. They play Kansas City tough usually. This is really scary. You really can't think about this when you make this play. Is it any reason why? I mean, of course we hate dentists. Not only are they giving out toothbrushes, which go to hell. You didn't even buy them. You get that sent to you for free. That's what you learn when you grow up. The dentists even buy these toothbrushes. They're giving out free swag that's sent to them by other companies. So dentists are the worst anyway. Dentists are just sleaze bags. Some of my friends growing up, complete and absolute derelicts, criminals. They went on to become dentists. It's the male real estate agent, dentist. Just kidding. My sister's real estate agent. She's one of the good ones. Anyway, that being said, shout out to Kaz. I'll probably be going over to Culver City to see some kids and trick or treaters. Some of these kids, I tell you what, they get greedy. They try to get in line twice. You gotta whap them on the nose with a rolled up, newspaper. Hey, get in line. One at a time. One hand. Let's go to the back. Expect everything. Captain Sanders said he's received pennies, apples, and toothbrushes. They all suck. Yes, they do. Apples are the worst because they weigh down your sack too, your pillowcase. Pennies are brutal. Pennies are just disgusting. That's just insane. I would rather eating candy is better for you health wise, I think, than handling pennies. Pennies are disgusting. And then you realize as you grow older, they're just getting rid of junk too. They're just getting rid of junk. Nothing. And I don't care if you dip that apple in caramel or wherever the fuck you dip that apple in, get it out of here. This is not your day. You go to the pumpkin patch or some of that bullshit, some of the harvest stuff. Wait for Thanksgiving. I don't care, but get your apples out of here. All right, bob for apples. Okay. Bobbing for apples is only good because you're in high school at that point and you're drunk and you're going to have some fucking bad, weird sex in a costume. That's all bobbing for apples is. It gets you, gets the inhibitions loose, and it has people practicing ice bath fellatio. Zippy tragedies. I'll do that right after the fifth bomb. Oh man, what are we at here with the show? Oh geez, please, the show's getting away from me. We're at 40 minutes. One more contest pick. Those are 4 tough, brutal ones. It gets even scarier than that. What if I told you, C-generates, that Denver plus 7.5, which we gave out, is not even the scariest bomb I'm giving out of these 5? There's an argument for all of them for being terrifying. But this one is absolutely terrifying. And we're going to go to Monday night. Detroit versus Vegas. This is a Halloween of all Halloween matchups. It's in Detroit, which actually isn't quite the Halloween city you would think it is. It's more of a mischief night, the night before Hell's Night, which is when this game will be happening on the 30th. The night before Halloween, mischief night, where cities burn and yes. I remember as a kid, gonna go egging? Let's go egging. It's Hell's Night. Let's go egg some houses. And we were such pussies. We'd be like, no, I want to sit on the porch and protect our house with eggs. In case some punks come by, I'm going to counter with some eggs. Yeah, okay. No, you're not. But we would. We'd protect our house. No one came by. No one came by. So Detroit's very good at mischief night. They love burning down houses. At least according to 8 Mile. Detroit's another one of those things. Is this mischief night or is this just a regular day in Detroit? What's going on here? Your city's in ruins. So I'm a little scared of that. That this is Detroit's night. Hell's night. What is going to happen? But the spread for this game, what is the spread on? And again, we're getting all these lines from the Circa Contest lines. Let me look it up right here. It is 9. Lions are laying 9. So the Raiders are getting 9. Now the Raiders, they are your Halloween team, obviously. Their fans dress up in these ridiculous outfits all year round. They are the team that they're really into Halloween. Vegas is really into Halloween. They're the house. Now it's not at their house. But you know the house, it's actually like an amateur haunted house. Maybe some of them are into set design. You go there and it's a whole fucking production. The problem with going to the Raider house is it's cool. The family, it's like they're doing like a theater thing. Like the dad's in a coffin. He's sitting in a coffin all day. There's recordings being played. There's mist coming at you. There's fake tombstones in the yard. They got the little sister hanging from the roof. Like what is going on up there? It's a little too good, the decorations. They're a little too into it. But they do a show. You have to wait like 20 minutes before you get your candy. Because they got to reset. Dad pop. And they got someone in the bushes waiting. That's always weird too. Remember when people like surprise scare you? That's part of it. What the fuck? I don't know what I'm walking into. The sisters and the brother. Just hiding in the bushes, they jump out. Oh my God! That's how you get someone gets punched. You see those prank videos? Then you get the surprise scare. Like, how long have you been hiding in those bushes? Yeah, Al Davis pops out of the casket, as Todd Morse said. His flame still burns at the stadium. That being said, this is what the Raiders live for. All year round, they cannot wait. They're the decorations that they make. This is not coming from Home Depot. This is coming. It's coming from Home Depot, but it's the ones that are making. They're not buying the pre-ordered ones. They're constructing it. They have it in the basement. This is for them. Barely for the kids. So we'll take Las Vegas +9 on their holiday to just hang with Detroit on mischief night. They don't know they'll win. Just hang. Jimmy Garoppolo hopefully will play. Bomb that. Garoppolo's one of those handsome. I always hated the handsome costumes. He'll be Dracula, so he can fucking get a lady. If you're gonna put on a costume in high school, embarrass yourself. No one wants to look good. People like making fun of the women costumes, like, I'm a slutty, whatever. I'm a slutty this, slutty that. Which, by the way, stop shaming women from dressing as sluts, please, on Halloween. It's one of the last things we have. Stop it. But anyway, there's also the male bimbo version of that. And that's your Jimmy Garoppolo's, who dresses like the Count. Oh, I'm Dracula. Fuck off. You're Dracula. You're the Count. Good point. There'll be a lot of NFL fight videos from that game. A lot of bloody mess at the Raiders-Lions game. Do I have time for a snap? I was debating whether doing a snappy tragedies. Did they catch that shooter in Maine, by the way? Maine mass shooter killed 16 people. He's still on a loose manhunt. He's considered armed and dangerous. All right, I'll stop doing that. Todd Moore says he still wears his 20-year-old female body inspector shirt. FBI. Hey, buddy, now you can wear it ironically as a costume. I don't know what I'm going to do for a costume. Anyway. So that was the 5. Let me do the survivor pick as well. And then I'll recap it. So we gave out the 5 bombs, and then there's a survivor, which we're still in. There's a couple of choices this year. I like this week. Another scary one. I'm going to go with your LA Chargers over the Bears. They just got to win outright. One last house on this block of trick-or-treating. The Chargers over the Bears. Now, the Chargers, they lose. They love losing. They find ways to lose. They're just a mess. But they're talented. They should be able to beat the goddamn Bears. They'll pull it together. You know what the house Chargers are on the block when you go trick-or-treating? The Chargers are the house that didn't know it was Halloween. You go up to their house like, oh, God, was tonight Halloween? Fuck. Oh, no, we forgot. What do you mean you forgot? Did you look out your window? Did you see the 300 kids walking around in your neighborhood? What do you think? There was this Children of the Corn being unleashed? No, it's Halloween. Go to the store, get some candy, come back and do this. And so they honestly forgot because they're a mess. Their life is chaotic. And that's the Chargers. They pull it together, and then you believe them because then they go around the house and they give you like something from their house. They give you like their groceries. Like, what the hell is this? I don't know. It's half of a turkey club. You'll like it. Okay. Here's some chips. Here's some loose potato chips, not even in a Ziploc. There's pouring chips in your bag. What the hell's going on? Get your life together, Janet. I like calling people Janet. That being said, you usually get something pretty hard. You get like an item from their house that's worth something. So it's not the worst place to go to. It's just more funny that they don't know what Halloween's going on. So the Chargers will pull it together, and that's our survivor pick. So we got 5 bombs and a survivor, Chargers. The bombs, of course, were Carolina +3, Green Bay pick'em, Washington +6.5, Denver +7.5, Vegas +9, and survivor Chargers over the Bears. Not too shabby. Now, with that being said, I don't know what I'm going to. Let's go into the box. Let's lock this in. Thank you. Welcome. It's one of a fun show. Isn't that fun? Was that a fun ride down the old block going trick-or-treating? Turning in an NFL? I like doing that. I got to do more themed shows. I'll tell you why I don't do that, because that takes work. I was actually right. I had to write that. I'm just kidding. I write all these shows. I write a lot of these shows. Look, I write outlines. I let my talents go where they go. But you gotta write an outline. You can't just come in willy-nilly. Anyway, where was I? Nowhere. In the box. That's where I was. I don't know what I'm going to be for Halloween. In LA, you got to be someone for Halloween. It's all for the Instagram. You got to get the likes on Instagram. You got to get some pictures. So I don't know. I don't know where we're going to go with this. A lot of people are vague costumes. Like, you could totally just phone it in. Oh, I'm the guy from the show. I'm that guy from the show, you know. I'm the or real specific. I'm the fucking placemat in Ozarks. What the hell are you talking about? Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. Let's talk about the box. You guys did talk some candy. We'll keep it Halloween. Keep it Halloween themed. I'll save the horns thing. There's a horn story, but I'll talk about that. Halloween. Other things I like during Halloween, besides candy, of course. Costumes are fun. Horror movies is a big part of Halloween. All month long, channels like the Scarefest, Shocktober, and Scare. They always got to change their name to some weird pun. In Pittsburgh, Station Square became Station Scare. Shocktober. And then you see movies, and you're like, oh, I'll watch some of these old horror movies. I tell you what, there's also a theme going on. So you got Halloween's a big one. Obviously, your Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, and all those. Halloween, much like Saw. I watched Saw 10. If you see one Saw, see Saw 4, I say. If you're going to see a Saw, don't see Saw 10. You see Saw 10, you don't hear Saw 10. Just joking, just doing puns. So is Saw 10? Is that what it was at? That came on my TV the other day. I watched it. It was basically about the American healthcare system. Brady Novak said, me and Brady watched half of it the other day. We saw it in half. We saw half a Saw. We saw it in half. Anyway, but Halloween and Saw, Mission Impossible, Fast and Furious, those are like the certain type of movies where they've reached so many sequels that they don't even number them anymore because it's embarrassing how many sequels they've made. So now they just put in like vague adjectives like legacy and forever. Like what? What's these mean? So you don't even know what number it is. Anyway, so they just show random ones. And one of the most notorious ones is Halloween 3. I watched it the other night. Among Halloween fans, it's hated because you had Halloween 1, John Carpenter, classic, Michael Myers, the music, you know. Halloween 2, of course, it's got to do the sequel. Back in the 70s and 80s, back when the sequels would pick up right where the last one ended, literally right that scene. They would show you the last 5 minutes to open up the second one, the last 5 minutes of the first movie to refresh your memory. Literally the last 5 minutes, maybe from a different angle, and then it picks right up and then they take off. It was literally a sequel. Now, who knows? Now it's like 20 years later, whatever. Anyway. But then Halloween 3, if you don't remember, wasn't about Michael Myers at all. It was about like masks and some weird thing. It was just a weird movie that had nothing to do with Halloween, but they had the rights to Halloween, so they slapped the Halloween name on there. They didn't even have the song. They had some different music, like 6 more days to Halloween, Halloween. It was really bizarre. Now, on its own, it's actually not that bad of a horror movie. But if you go in there and you're expecting Michael Myers, oh, it's a bad movie. You hate it. You're just confused. Like, what the fuck is this? Where is Michael Myers? Where's the piano? Where's anything? What is this? Why am I watching this? So people were irate. So much so that the next one they put out, Halloween, was like, They're like, make sure Michael Myers is in the title, and they know it was called The Return of Michael Myers. Don't worry, assholes. Here he's back. And I kind of feel bad for the people of Halloween because they're like, all right, Jesus, God forbid we try something different. How many times do you want to see this guy kill teenagers? It's the same thing every time. We had a script, we ran with it. Yeah, we should have threw the Halloween moniker on it, I guess. But God, we have 50 more of these shit boxes to make if you want. Shit boxes. But they did. Oh, don't worry, guys. Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers. It's here. He's here. Okay, will you shut up about it? You know, a trend I don't like that's going on TikTok or online or whatever is people dress as these characters like Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger and Jason from Friday the 13th and like doing dancing. They're you know, they do dances together. Like they make them people basically. Oh, isn't it funny watching Jason do a little crip walk or something? No, it's not. These people are supposed to be scary. They're not people. They're monsters. I don't like the cutening up of monsters. I don't want wolves being cute. I want these guys I want them ripping shreds together. I don't want to see Pinhead doing the Cabbage Patch. Pinhead being from Hellraiser. Is that right? Who was wore pins in his head? I like those lame monsters that never made it. The Running Man. I don't need Jigsaw doing the Running Man. Todd Morris wants me to dress up as Darth Vader again. Yeah, I'm more of definitely definitely more of a James Earl Jones frame than a Darth Vader frame. I have the body of the voice of Darth Vader, not the body of Darth Vader now. So I don't know if I could be doing that again. More the Emperor. I'm not Jabba the Hutt size yet. Don't say that, degenerate. But we're getting there. Who we kidding? Anyway, what do we got here? Oh man, we're just about at an hour here, so we should probably wrap it up. I did want to tell this story about I'll tell that. I'll tell that Monday. I got to save my content for Monday. A fun honking story. So, thank you everybody, and thank you everyone who is in the chat and for being on YouTube here. Make sure you like that YouTube video. Hit the thumbs up, the creepy thumbs. I'm gonna keep playing that creepy thumbs up. Even if you don't like it, just say you like it. Hand out your candy. Don't be one of those. Don't hand out your pennies or your toothbrushes. Good luck with the bombs. I feel good about these scary bombs because they're all terrible teams. And that's what you got to do. I might have a boots on the ground report from the UCLA Colorado game. Speaking of scary, at the Rose Bowl. Make sure you like and subscribe to all the things. Of course, this podcast. Blackout Diaries, another podcast I do with Sean Flannery about drinking stories. That's fun if you want to. But make sure you subscribe to this one first. Follow me on the socials. Instagram, CJ Sullivan was taken, not like Liam Neeson. Twitter or X at CJ Sullivan _. This wraps up the C block. I will be on tonight, guys. If you want to come back tonight after the Thursday night football game, after Buffalo smokes Tampa Bay, I will be on the prop show with Sean and Ryan, on the main mothership. The streets are talking, and they love my ladders. I'll be bringing another ladder tonight to the prop show, so that'll be fun. Other than that, I'll be in Vancouver next weekend. I'll plug that more next week at the House of Comedy, 3rd and 4th. If you're in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. But this music can really just drown me low. I mean, I kind of just get smoothed into it. Smoothed into it? That's not a thing. Anyway, you'll get plenty of ladder talk. I don't want to love ladder talk. That's the ladder sound effect that they added. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's Bottom Line Bombs. Thank you, everyone, who joined us. And yeah, happy Halloween. Good luck with the bombs, even though Halloween's next week. It's really this weekend. Get fucked up in a costume. Do a walk of shame and as a Disney princess. It's all great. Anyway, that's it. Thanks, guys.